If you want more consistent results in your estate agency business and you're tired of properties and marketing which vary massively in the results you get, then this video is the one to watch. I'm going to walk you through the stages of building a winning formula in your estate agency that you can repeat time and time again. A process that ensures not only that properties are listed in the best possible way you can, but also ensures you get further instructions off the back of exactly what you're doing. A system that not only gets you more instructions on the market, but also once they're on the market, gives you other properties instructions off the back of it. This system is going to give you consistency in your estate agency and allow you then to scale your business as far as you possibly want to. So I think the mistake that many agents make is they think they're just selling homes, when actually you're selling a product. You have a product that you have within your estate agency, and it's a process from start to finish, right the way through to the lead generation, through to handing keys over to completion. That is the service you provide. Now, the better that service is, the more likely people are to recommend you to friends and family, and that's the real golden ticket. What you also find, if your processes change over time as well, what you'll generally find is very hard to monitor what is working well and what isn't working well. Let's say, for example, we change one thing in our process. It's very easy to see whether that had a positive effect on our business or a negative effect on our business. And let's say we've got 15 different things running at any time and they're all a little bit different from property to next. It's very hard to work out what's working well and what isn't working well because you've got 15 variables, so who's got a clue what's working well in that process? Now, the top performing agents out there will have a process they stick to absolutely like glue. And it's going to be a process for absolutely everything, from the way you list properties to the way you generate leads, through to vendor care, through to completions, and everything in between those stages. This is written down almost in stone for their business and say, if you join ourselves as an associate or a member of staff, this is how we list properties. This is how we generate leads. This is how we hand over keys on completion. Everything is listed out as a process that is replicatable by other team members. And although this may sound like a lot of work to start off with, which trust me, it really isn't, you'll find you can repeat this process over and over again. So if you're a one-person band and you bring another member of staff on board, actually they can just slot into that process quite nicely, and it's almost like a little clone of yourself doing the things that you would be doing. Whereas if they don't have those processes in place, they're just going to do what they want. It's going to take them a long time to get up to speed in where you are in the business because they just won't know, and they'll just do their own things or what they've been taught historically, which might be great, they might be terrible, you've got really no idea. So what we're looking for here is uniformity across every rank of your business, from lead generation through to right at the end of the process, that people can bolt into at whatever stage they're up to. So I'm willing to bet that in some way you have this process set up in your business already. Though I'm also willing to bet that it is mostly in your head. I bet if we sat down for an hour or two and I said, right, talk me through the process of you taking your property to the market, you go, well, I do the pictures, I do the floor plan, I send them off to the homeowner, I add them into the CRM system, I upload them online, I add a premium listing, and we could talk through that process. But the problem you've got there is it's only in your head, and you've probably got a good amount of estate agency experience, so therefore you know what should be happening and what shouldn't be happening. You have to plan as if your new member of staff is an absolute idiot, in the nicest way of putting that. They have no idea about estate agency and they're a bit thick all round. So therefore they come on board with your business and go, well, how do I generate my first instruction then? And it needs to be idiot proof and granular. And in fact, the bigger your team is, the more idiot proof it needs to be, because with more people in your team, the more variables you've got of things going wrong. If it's just you and one other person and you've got a good amount of experience, you can say just upload pictures to the CRM system. That's probably okay. But if it's a team of 50 people who don't know what happens to that part of the process, it might be email photographer to get booked in, get photographs back from photographer, upload to CRM system, check with homeowner they're happy with the pictures. And it becomes a slightly more drawn out process because you've got more variables in that situation. So if you're watching this and you're a one-person band, this can be quite a simple process. If you're watching this and you have a team, it needs to be more thorough and more detailed because you've got more variables with more people on board. Now, one of the most important parts of this process is using this process to get more instructions on the market. So let's do a little bit of maths homework, shall we? Let's keep it nice and easy. Let's say you have a 50% instruction rate. So take you 2 evaluations to get 1 property on the market. Great. So you've got 1 home that just instructed you. Well, you've just used up 2 market appraisals to get that 1 instruction on the market. So if you're generating 3 market appraisals off the back of that property coming on the market, your business is growing. Good news, high five. If you're only generating 1 market appraisal off that property coming on the market, your business is shrinking, and pretty quickly as well. So let's go down the next stage in our sales funnel, shall we? Let's say you've sold a property. Let's say you've got a 50% sales rate for all your properties that have come on the market. You just sold a home. How many valuations does that cost you to get to that point? Well, it took us 2 valuations to get 1 property on the market, and we're only selling half of them. So therefore, it's going to take us 4 valuations to get to our 1 property going under offer. So therefore, the same rules apply. So we're not generating more than 4 valuations once we sell a property, then our business is shrinking. If we get from that stage of our sales funnel and we've generated 5 valuations off the back of it, hey, Good news, our business is growing. So this is one of the most important things to focus on with your process in your business is when we get to each of the stages, are we doing enough marketing in the local area to refill our sales funnel? If we're not doing that, what is going to happen is you have some months you're doing absolutely amazing. Great news, great listings, great sales, etc. Then you'll hit a peak. Things will get very quiet very quickly. You've not done any lead generation. You've been too busy listing and selling properties. It will pile down the hill very quickly. You'll start to panic and think, oh my God, I better go leaflet dropping and door knocking, all those things I should have been doing. So we want to avoid that as much as we possibly can do by having a consistent winning formula in your business. So when you list a property, it generates leads. When you sell a property, it generates leads. When you complete on a property, it generates leads. That's going to keep leads coming through our entire process to keep the sales funnel completely full. So let's talk about how this should look. Depending on your IT skills or your whiteboard skills, this can look different from every single business. Hell, I would be happy if you had a white piece of paper in your office and it just had it written down from top to finish in biro. That is a really good start. If you've got a whiteboard, if you've written on there, and therefore every property can make its way across the board as it comes for sale, as it goes sold, as it goes completed. If you've got a bigger team, then probably having a spreadsheet is the best way forward because not everybody can get access to the whiteboard, especially if you've got remote teams, for example. So therefore it makes it really easy as a manager or a director or a regional manager just to look at that process and go, oh, actually, we're missing that part of the process out, or that property hasn't had that done for it. So what we've actually done for you already is actually produce one of these because we're nice like that. So what we're going to do is just jump on the screen and have a look and show exactly what this looks like and exactly how you can use this and implement this in your own business. So first thing you want to do is head over to our website and then at the very end, put /process sheet. Now, I know what you're thinking, Chris, I can't be bothered to type that. Well, good news, I'm going to put the link just below this video. So you can just click straight away on there. You should be greeted by a website which looks a little bit like this. Now, if you scroll past all the 5-star reviews, don't worry about those. There's a little bit on here that says get access to our process sheet. Well, if you click on there, you'll get access to a sheet I've already made. Here's one I made earlier in true Blue Peter fashion. Now, this from memory has about 60 steps to it. So this is quite thorough. If you were a one-person band, it doesn't need to be this thorough. I thought I'd go a little bit on the worst case scenario. You can make it a lot easier off the back of it. So for example, if you think certain steps are required in your business, all you need to do is just hide that row, which you can quite easily do. Just right click at the very top and go hide column. There we go. That gets rid of that. And therefore you wouldn't need that section on there. When a property first comes on the market, so let's say we've got 123 Fake Street, which, as you might imagine, is not a real address. What we need to start off with is this property within or outside of our core area? So let's say it's in area. Good. That then means we're throwing the kitchen sink at this property because it's a house coming to the market in our core area. Therefore, we're going to throw as much marketing at it as we possibly can do. If it was out of area, on the other hand, I'll be thinking to myself, okay, it's 20 minutes down the road. Do I want to be doing lots of marketing around that property? Probably not. Will I put a board up still? Yes. Will I do a social media video? Probably. Will I do leaflets in those roads and VIP letters and buy it? Probably not. It's going to be too much. It's going to be dragging us away from our core patch. And as we know, we want to be really focused on our core area. So effectively what we'd now do is work our way across this. So have we sent terms and conditions? Yes, we've sent them. Have they been signed? Have we done a property information form? We go right the way through until we've got all the photographs of the property sorted. We've got it looking good online. Now let's go across and look at the leverage for sale section. So we can now see that we are for sale board ordered, for example. Have we done a leaflet in that local area? Have we done a social media teaser video? Have we released that video? Have we recorded a social media video showing the best room of the property? And you can see we're just working our way across this checklist until eventually we'll get to the end of the leverage for sale section, which is round about here. That will show that if that is all green and all been ticked off, we've done lots of marketing in our local area to refill our sales funnel. Now let's assume that we've now sold the property. We fast forward a bit. We can then go through and go, have we changed the board? Have we done a sold in your area? Have we recorded a video of us changing the board? Have we posted some content on social media around that? There's loads of things we can do. But if you follow this process through from start to finish, what you'll find is you'll generate a lot more leads in your business when you list those properties and when you sell them and when you complete them. And we all know that when properties come on the market, the first thing that all local homeowners do in the area is go onto Rightmove, see what the property looks like and think, I wonder what my property is worth. So this takes full advantage of that effect happening. So that is a quick glimpse at the process sheet. You need to download your own copy, so don't try and edit the original because you won't be allowed to, because otherwise that'd be an absolute car crash. So if you go to File, Download, you can download your own version of that spreadsheet on Excel or Google Sheets. Then you can start using it in your business from today. Now, if you want good versus great, the good way to start using it is to use it from today and to go, right, I've got a new listing coming on next week. Let's start using it from today. The great way of doing it is to backdate it on your old instructions. Look through your properties you've had on for sale in your core area, under offer and completing in your core area, and go, actually, I missed that, I missed that, I missed that. I need to backdate and catch up on each of these bits. Can be a bit of a headache to get started, but also this is good lead generation, this is good marketing for your business to get out in the local area. So that is a wrap on today's video. So before this, if you felt like your listings were a little bit inconsistent, you're scrambling slightly about what you should do when you list and sell properties, hopefully this has added some clarity to that process. If you want more tips and advice about how to list and sell more properties, you can download a free copy of my best-selling book, Your First £100,000 Estate Agency. All you need to do, pop over to Instagram and DM us the word book, and it'll come straight across yourself. I'll see you on the next video.